The longest government shutdown in American history is still going. It is now day 26, and the effects continue to pile up. The Coast Guard isn't getting paid, imports aren't getting through customs, and things have gotten so desperate that the Pentagon has been downgraded to a square. And while we've known from the start that one of the shutdown's worst effects is that 800,000 government workers would not be getting a paycheck, we're now learning that all of America is about to lose a lot of cash.
The longest government shutdown in U.S. history, now day 26. The White House team of economists now says it's twice as bad for the economy as they had predicted.
On Wall Street, concern the shutdown ripple effect could soon damage the U.S. economy. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, warning first quarter economic growth for the entire country could be wiped out if the shutdown continues through March.
Wow. The shutdown could wipe out an entire quarter of GDP growth. That's a pretty dire warning coming from Wall Street. And you'd think Trump would pay attention to that because he loves Wall Street. Right? He thinks that's where you get the wall. It's going to show up like, hello, I'm here to buy a wall. You're like, sir, you can't buy a wall here. He's like, oh, my bad. Mexico's here to buy a wall. So obviously, things are not going well for America right now, which is awkward for President Trump, because his big State of the Union speech is less than 2 weeks away. Although today, Nancy Pelosi suggested that maybe now is not a good time.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has sent a letter to President Trump asking to move the day of the State of the Union address, citing security concerns.
Pelosi writes, sadly, given the security concerns, unless government reopens this week, I suggest we work together to determine another suitable date after government has reopened for this address, or for you to consider delivering your State of the Union address in writing to Congress on January 29th.
That's right. Not only is the State of the Union uncertain, the state of the Union is uncertain. And Nancy Pelosi, she's kind of right. It is tough to convince people that the State of the Union is strong when you have to give the speech by candlelight because the government hasn't paid its bills. Trump's just going to be sitting there like, closer, Mitch, closer, close, not too close. I swear to God, if you burn my weave, bitch. But I personally hope they can fix this soon, because Trump delivering the State of the Union in writing would be a disaster, okay? I mean, this is the same guy who tweeted the word hamburgers yesterday. Like, if Trump writes his speech down, he's going to end up declaring that the State of the Union is schlong. It's not going to work out. And plus, if he doesn't do the speech out loud, we'd all miss out on all the weird physical stuff that he does, you know? Unless he writes that into the speech too. Then it would work. If he was like, we need to pull out of Syria, sniff for 8 seconds, and we need to kick out illegal immigrants, finger gun, bouncy ball, finger gun, draw the blinds, bring it home with the accordion, folks. Bring it home. And now if you're thinking to yourself, America's in chaos right now, well, I'm here to tell you it's nothing compared to what's happening in the UK. Because 2.5 years after the British voted to leave the EU, they still haven't determined how they're leaving, what they'll do with their trade, and how their borders are going to work. My proposal, build a wall. Anyway, Britain only has until March to figure out what they're going to do with Brexit. And yesterday, Prime Minister Theresa May introduced her plan to Parliament, and let's just put it this way, like a week-old blood pudding, it did not go down well.
Tonight, America's closest ally in chaos after the British Parliament overwhelmingly rejected Prime Minister Theresa May's divorce deal with Europe.
Some MPs made big sacrifices to be there. A heavily pregnant Labour MP, Tulip Siddiq, was wheeled through the division lobbies. She postponed her caesarean section to take part in the vote. The result itself confirmed the predictions and the government's worst fears.
The ayes to the right, 202. The noes, order!
Order! Order! God damn, that guy's louder than his tie. He probably gets home from work and his wife's like, honey, how was your day? He's like, it was fine! The place is so crazy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the pregnant woman gave birth and her baby came out like, wah! I said wah! So, Theresa May spent 2 years crafting a plan to make Brexit work. And yesterday, her parliament trashed it. And when I say trashed it, I mean trashed it. She lost by 230 votes, the worst defeat in British history. And look, I sympathize with Prime Minister May. I mean, she's in a tough position. You know, the left side of Parliament doesn't even want Brexit, and the right side thinks that Theresa May should be going even further. So she's damned if you do, damned if you don't. Or as they say in Britain, holly sullied if you do, kitchen knickers in the golly pump if you don't. Prove me wrong. because here's the thing, right? If Britain leaves the European Union without a deal, the consequences could be disastrous. The economy could be destroyed, the country could suffer medicine shortages, and supermarkets could run out of food. At this point, Britain's only hope is that somehow Theresa May can get like two rabidly opposed sides of her country to come together around a coherent Brexit plan. But based on how British people are disagreeing with each other in the streets, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Britain has got the technology, the ability, we've got the people to rebuild. We don't need Europe.
Totally disagree with that. If you actually look at Wales, it amazes me that the people in the valleys who were getting more from the EU than anybody else actually voted to come out. It's like turkeys voting for Christmas as far as the valleys are concerned.
From the valleys, turkeys. I'm a valley boy.
I'm just saying.
I brought them bread up in heavy industry, in the mining industry.
Did I call them that? I didn't call. I said like turkeys.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So that's a comparison.
Thank you.
Total comparison.
Yo, that is the most British street beef I've ever seen in my life. A fight over figures of speech. That's a simile. Actually, it's a metaphor. What did you say? What did you say? Well, start if you please. So as of right now, America's government is shut down and there's trash on the streets. The UK's government is in turmoil and soon they may not have food. And Africa is watching all of this like, ha ha, who's laughing now? Huh?